VC week here. It's been spotlight on Auric Essentials, and I have brought together this fabulous group of people that are all part of product development. Now, you know Alex, our CTO, so we will start with an introduction from the other three. Maybe start with you, Maddy.
Yeah, sure. I'm Maddy Beard. I'm a UX designer and also dabble in brand design and sort of all facets of design I've touched throughout my career. So I'm able to do all of that here at Auric.
And I'm Eric Oldrin. I spent the last 10 years at Meta bringing all sorts of different products to market, everything from Instagram down through Messenger, a number of reality labs products, and thinking about the creative potential around those spaces and how they'll resonate with their audience and with people. And so it's been a real blast to think about that with Adam and Alex as we're bringing AromaSphere to market as well.
G'day guys, I'm Sunny. I'm a market and insights professional, working in research for more than 20 years. I've done loads and loads of research, working with companies like Uber Eats, Nestle, Kellogg's, a lot of global brands across tech, SaaS, fintech, testing more than 350 odd products over the last 20 years as well. So I'm excited to come on board and utilize research and drive decisions across marketing and planning for Auric.
Awesome. We might stay with you in Sunny, but I think what we've talked about on the WhatsApp channel is really one of our core beliefs that really drives the company, is that we just feel that scent is that missing link in personalized wellness. It is the most powerful, it's most underutilized sense in modern wellness and health technology. And we'll touch on the science of that on Thursday with Sophia and Dino. But from a product point of view, we just think there's this opportunity to take this old-fashioned area of science and use digital intelligence that can kind of unlock and improve people's mood states and be the trigger point to help with focus, to help relaxation, to help with energy and sleep. And we've gone out and we've done quite a bit of research with our product, and Sunny's just done a 1,000 panel, which I think is really interesting in how people have actually taken a product like the AromaSphere. So it might be worth just taking a little bit under the hood of what we've found in that research.
Absolutely. Let me share my screen. I've just kind of mocked up a few slides just for today, just to give you some early snippets from the work which we did. And one of the first things I did coming on board as an advisor to Auric was to commission a large piece of work. As part of that, we actually went ahead, we spoke to about 1,100 Australians aged 18 to 75, and that's a really robust study when you're speaking to such a strong amount of people. And the research was quite vast because we touched on a variety of topics, but it was really interesting to see that 90% of Aussies are open to exploring health and wellness solutions, solutions that help with their mood, relaxation, and overall well-being. So my key takeaway was, this is a ripe market, for us to actually introduce a product like this one. Next up, we also try to understand, what are Australians buying on a day-to-day basis? And some of the numbers did surprise me, like, for instance, smart devices and gadgets. This is heavily embedded into people's homes. So about 9 in 10 Aussies actually have some type of a smart device or gadget at home. And then all things aromatherapy devices as well. There's about 44% of Australians that have some type of aromatherapy product, a diffuser or essential oil. And if you add candles to that or any scented candles or related products, that just kind of grows that market even more. One of the other questions, the team had was, what about app subscription? And again, that's also really high. There's about 1 in 2 Australians that are actually subscribing to fitness or workout apps. So things that are helping people with their fitness or their workout, helping them with their mindfulness, with their meal planning. All of these things are now becoming into a rhythm into everyday Aussies' lives. And again, this is just kind of helping me understand the market, just the very fact that, this is something that has been established for a while and it sort of continues to grow. We went on and we tried to understand what's driving this behavior. And some of the learnings that came back was, just wanting to improve their mood, relaxation. So everything about health and well-being, that was one of the core drivers that's driving growth in this sector. The emotional and mental wellness, so people wanting to improve their own health, their general health and well-being, or they were recommended by a health professional, is a core driver. And then at the same time, social media, right? Let's not forget that, because social influence and experimentation, these are key reasons why people occasionally enter into the category. In this case, about 4 in 10 people, buying some type of product or service, because either they just saw something new, or they were recommended by somebody, or it's just popular and they've just kind of seen it somewhere on social media. Now we did go ahead and we tested, our AromaSphere. We went ahead and we tested a very simplistic one-pager. Whenever we do market research, we don't put any marketing on top of it. It's basically just an image of the product, what it looks like, a very simple description on what it is about, 1 or 2 key benefits, and a price point. So it's very realistic, right? And it was so pleasing to see that straight away that the feedback from everybody we spoke with was all about how AromaSphere seamlessly integrates with smart tech, the waterless convenience, the sleek design, mood enhancing capabilities. It's got all of these things working extremely well for it. Now I'm going to jump into these a little bit further, for our viewers today. And when we go ahead and we test a new product, we test it across different metrics. One of the key metrics we tested on is comprehension. Is it easy to understand? And it rated extremely high in terms of just understanding. Uniqueness and differentiation is, again, a really core metric, because for a product to succeed, it needs to be different from other products out in the market. And we had an extremely high score as well compared to all our benchmarks. Same goes for appeal, moderate to high appeal, and likelihood to purchase as well, which is moderate for a product like that, which is quite good. We also saw that take up, our core market for a product like this, is going to be skewing the under 44-year-olds. It's going to be going up to the just under 55s, mixed gender, and mixed household earnings as well for a product like this. Now, there's a few more things I'm quite keen to share with you. Just in terms of what people said about the product, and this is real verbatim from everybody on the survey. People talking about that AromaSphere has got the smart tech, the app integration. They like the waterless feature. Now, this is something I didn't expect that's going to be coming up as such a strong benefit, but people talked about that. Hey, it doesn't need water. A waterless diffuser is so cool. The design, guys, let's not forget the design. Modern, the aesthetics about it, it's appealing, it's elegant, it looks good, it looks classy. The mood enhancement and the relaxation benefits, which is obviously one of the core functional benefits of a product, comes strongly, as well as the fact that it's preloaded with 8 selected oils as well. Now I'm keen to keep on sharing. There's so much more to share, but Adam, I'm conscious I'm gonna take away your time. I might just kind of pass it back to you, and if there's anything more, I'll be happy to share again.
Yeah, look, the results are really great, and for anybody who wants to kind of delve into that into more detail, we can. It's maybe worth, Maddy, we kind of knew that a little bit. I mean, that's how we met, actually. You were sort of from a UX, UI point of view, you were looking at just traditional aromatherapy, messy to blend, marketed to a particular niche, didn't have any of that sort of intelligence or connectivity. Maybe talk a little bit about that, because that's been a bit of a passion point when into the Auric product.
Yeah, definitely. So we met because I was actually working on a similar concept through a residency with Adobe. So I just came up with this idea. I knew I couldn't bring it to life myself, but I just wanted to explore it as a concept. And Adam ended up finding that online, and that's kind of how we connected. And we've been working on this real version ever since, which is really cool for me. But yeah, my whole idea was I am super into wellness, of course, and aromatherapy as well. And I just felt like there was a real disconnect, or I guess just so much friction between using aromatherapy and actually using it to the point where it can improve your wellness and you can bring it into your routine. I feel like that's so easy with things, you know, other types of senses that we use and that we use for our wellness. But there really isn't a whole lot out there in the scent space or the aromatherapy space to bring that into your routine in your home in a way that's automated. And so that was sort of my original idea, is how could we use scent, which is so tied to our sort of like emotions and how we react to things and our memory. It sort of primes us to do certain things and feel certain ways. Like if you think about smelling like a perfume that maybe reminds you of a person or a place, it instantly takes you back. And so just using that quality to improve not just your wellness, but also your daily routines, and how can smelling a certain smell prime you to you know, sort of get something done that you really want to get done, or start to wind down for the day. That was sort of where I really wanted to go with it. And, you know, Adam had very similar sort of ideas and even more ideas that we've dove into. But that was my original, you know, interest in a product like this. And I think what we're doing really sort of explores that and goes really, really far with it, which I'm just super excited about. But yeah, I think the main thing really is getting rid of that friction. And so how we're doing that is allowing our users to either sort of create their own ritual, or it will start to, you know, learn who they are through the data and really use that behind the scenes to recommend certain rituals for individuals. And the whole appeal really is you set it and forget it. But that's just the half of it, right? You set it and forget it. That's so great. But where the real power sort of comes in is that like surprise and delight when it actually starts going off. Like you set this up, and then, you know, the next day or the next week, however you've set it up, it's going to start. But you probably won't be thinking about, oh, you know, my AromaSphere is going to start to go off. Like it's probably going to surprise you. You're going to start to smell that and think, oh yeah, this was sort of my intention for setting this up. So I'm going to start to wind down. And of course the scent is going to do that, you know, through your body and your senses as well. But yeah.
Yeah, look, I think what Maddy has really done with the brand, we sort of talked about Auric in those early days of the elegance of e-soap, the functionality of Sonus, the simplicity of Nespresso. You know, those were three brands that allowed us to come together. So Maddy's done a beautiful job. There's another video we'll put in the show notes about the actual user interface of the app, which is a beautifully designed app, which you know, when you get to your AromaSphere, you'll see how easy it is to sort of navigate through these various different mood states and get that kind of balance right between how much questionnaire we're asking the people over it automatically learning and behaving on that. You've got some really strong opinions on product development, Eric. I mean, maybe talk about how we came together on this project.
Well, I love everything Maddy was just talking about, and I couldn't agree more about that power of scent. I mean, it's such a, if you stop and think about scent, it's almost a weird, magical, amazing resource in us that we don't really give enough credit toward, the way that it can transport us back to a beach when I was 6 years old, and the last time I saw my aunt, or had some amazing experience, or a perfume that I smell. And so that power is so untapped. And I remember in one of our earlier conversations, Adam, where we were talking about the larger landscape of health solutions. And something that really stuck with me about that conversation is that there's a lot of health solutions that fall in this space, and all these are great, by the way, no indictment of any particular category, but there's a lot that fall in the data one, which is like, I'm going to know how many steps I took today, or how many hours I slept. And like, that's great. And it gives you a lot of insight, and you know, potentially you can take some action on, but it's not doing anything for me. It's asking me to then do some stuff, right? And then there's a whole other category of things that does fall on that, I'm going to solve it for you, but heck, it's a lot of work, you know. And I, believe me, I love my Strava. I go running, and it helps me kind of figure that out. But I'm doing the running, and or things that are doing, you know, like a meditation type experience, and so it's kind of a heavy lift. And then I guess the third category is I'm just going to take a pill, which a lot of people need to do that. There's a lot of situations where we find ourselves where that's a great solution. But what I really love about what, you know, you guys have been building is this solution that is, as Maddy said, sort of seamlessly in my life, and it's personalized to me. I might set it and forget it. It might learn from who I am, and then it's using that very untapped power of scent to make substantive, tangible changes in my life. And that's just magical to me. So I'm really excited to see the acceleration and all this development, all the hard work that y'all have been doing to build it.
Well, a lot of your hard work as well, Eric, in there, especially as we're into the beta program. Now, Alex is co-founder and CTO. When you came across Auric, we were very much in that sort of wellness area, which is that intersection between wellness tech and the aromatherapy industry. But I think you really added, and obviously through our residency at Antler, they really showed us that the IoT space, that $1 trillion market, and what's growing, and we've seen that in the research, is, you know, we sort of move into that. Maybe just talk a little bit about your passion points around where you, and also just talk about where we're at with the beta program and what it can do now and what we're going to do in the future.
Yeah, it's obviously quite an interesting space. The IoT market, definitely one that's growing, especially with the likes of, you know, big conglomerates in Apple and Google moving into sort of the home automation space, these sort of interconnected devices that we've got at home. And I think the AromaSphere sort of fits seamlessly into that space. We talk a lot about, obviously, the kind of fully integrated home experience where you can really set an ambient mood at home using lighting, using visuals, using sound, and now the AromaSphere just adds that extra dimension, and we're really, really excited by that. And, you know, the fact that we're putting a really big focus on automating that whole process, making it as seamless as possible. So like Maddy said, like Eric said, it's pain-free, it's friction-free. You know, you get home, the device is already running. You really don't even have to think about it once you've set up the schedule for your day or for your week. And there's something really, really nice. I know for myself, you know, prior to jumping onto Auric, you know, just walking into my bathroom and having my candle going, you know, just that sense in the room just adds that extra bit of dimension and experience. And now with the AromaSphere playing around with a lot of the oils in that, what's interesting is the ability to kind of shift different scents kind of on demand means you don't ever get used to. I think one thing with scent is when you're experiencing it all the time, you know, if you think about, you know, back when I used to work at McDonald's, you spend so much time in McDonald's, you forget the smell of McDonald's, right? So the fact that you can switch these scents all the time means you're always experiencing something new, and it's always having a profound impact on how you're feeling. And so, yeah, where we're at right now with the beta program, we've obviously got a handful of units onboarded. I've got one here at the moment as well. You can see it through the blur, but yeah, really excited. That's going really well. So we're distributing those firstly to our advisors, and then we've got obviously our beta program users who will be getting those units very shortly. We've got our alpha for the app as well, ready to go, which is obviously the main way that you integrate with the device. And another interesting thing that we're developing is actually the data dashboard. So this sort of ties a little bit into some of what Sunny is doing as well. But I think a really critical part of running a really successful beta program with these early users is to really get a thorough understanding of usage patterns and really understand what our users are liking and disliking, because we really want this product to be a customer-driven development. You know, we want to build stuff that people want, that people need, that really add value. And so that's why we're putting a big emphasis on sort of quantitative analysis of everything here. So yeah, we're really excited to see where that goes.
Yeah, the dashboard is particularly exciting. I think some of the, wherever our journey goes, this sort of smart cap with an RFID tag to track oil usage is a really big innovation. We are tracking the whole ECG from plant to grower onto a TGA approval. But it is quite interesting because our oils will last up to 60 days. It obviously depends on how many moods you're setting. But we sort of know when they're coming towards an end of one of those bottles, and we can start to look at some of the various different options that you can develop. And we think there's a community around different blends and different usages of that. I mean, I think we probably can go for a little bit longer. I mean, I might just talk about the mood states. Maybe Eric, you can talk about them. I think out of the box, what we're trying to do with Auric is it's got 8 oils, it's got 4 mood options, and we start with these what we call 26 rituals. So 7 sleep, 6 calm, 6 focus, 6 energy. Now we're doing that just to get you started. But of course, after that, everyone's going to have their personalized view of what scent is in their lifestyle. How do you look at that, Eric? I mean, I know at Maddy you have seen products go to market, some successful, some not. I mean, how do you see that early stage of product development and the importance of what we learn in that early stage?
Well, I think successful product development and go-to-market strategy, I guess it's not really rocket science. Like everybody, I'm sure watching this, everybody in the startup space, they really understand that the dream is you see an unmet need, you understand people, you have someone like Sunny really make sure that we are correct in that, and then you're able to build and resolve that. I think where people get tripped up is they aren't honest with what people really need. They don't have someone like Sunny doing a lot of like really in-depth understanding, and they aren't true to their own selves. And I'll give you an example of that. This is a successful product, and it's one that I've been continuing to advise on and consult with Meta around their wearables devices. And so, we saw a lot of attempts of smart glasses. I was a fan of Google Glass. I thought it was really cool that they're going to market and try, but there's a lot of flack that they got. People were like, oh, these are weird, and then even Snap, like they have moderate success. But the thing that Meta did for their glasses that was just brilliant was to have a relationship with Luxottica and to take a fashion-forward approach and to meet people where they are with a product. If you're going to wear something sort of all day and you're going to change the form factor and the way that people interact with the world around them, you need to understand the people and how they interact with the world and do something that feels seamless, right? And so Ray-Ban sunglasses are absolutely just on the nose for, pardon the pun, for a glasses that people are going to wear. And so lo and behold, it's a breakout hit, and they're continuing to release and they're improving and they're going to move on to full AR and it's going to be amazing. But that reminds me a lot of what you're building, what we're building about the AromaSphere, because it's meeting people where they are and creating an experience in this whole new untapped space that is seamless and frictionless and part of people's lives. And so I think that's the magic recipe when you take something to market, is to be honest with what those unmet needs look like and then to show up in a way that's authentic and true to the audience.
Yeah. And I think that's right, Maddy.
Yeah, I was just going to add to that. I think we've thought a lot about that in terms of design as well, and not just with the design of the AromaSphere itself, which I think what we're really trying to make it look good in people's homes, because that's the thing too, is if we expect for someone to, really want to integrate this into their lives, where is it going to be? It's going to be in their home. And I think a lot of times people really do care about this thing that they're spending money on and having almost as a decor piece in their house. I think we've seen a lot of brands do really well, like Vitruvi has, I think, a beautiful diffuser. And people buy that one because it looks the way it does. And so we couldn't really ignore that. And I think we're working on that, you know, sort of as well alongside. But along with that, also just thinking about, you know, these may not be people that we're speaking to who are real techie. You know, I think these are mostly people who are super into wellness. And are they open to bringing a tech solution into their home that facilitates wellness? Yes. But that doesn't mean that they are, you know, like us, you know, who work at for tech companies and all of that. And so we really have to sort of have everything speak to those people, and appeal to them in a way that is like wellness first. And the tech and the data and all of that is definitely important, but it's more in the background, and it should be in the background. So I think that's something that's just been interesting to think about too. And just as you said, being honest about the who of all of this and what they actually care about and what they want. That's been really interesting to look at from a brand perspective, for us who've
Maddy,
been thinking about that. Yeah.
Just to chime in, you know, just from a research perspective, one of the things which I'm hearing quite a lot is people love different aspects of it, right? There's one group of people who absolutely love the stylish and modern design. You know, it's modern, it's nice, beautiful aesthetics. If I just kind of share with you, it's glowing reviews just on the actual device look in the app itself. Then we have this other group of people, you know, for them it's all about the mood enhancement and the relaxation benefits. You know, what does it do for me? What does it do for me in terms of the end of the day, for my office room, for my living room? Actually, that was quite interesting. So one of the things that came out from the study was, you know, that most people are actually going to be utilizing AromaSphere in the living room and the bedroom, right? Which is kind of expected as well in a way. But at the same time, there were a lot of people that wanted to place it in their bathroom, in their dining room. Some people put it in their home offices as well, in the kitchen areas. And there's a small group that wanted to actually put it outdoor as well. You know, so well, I think what I'm trying to say is the more people we speak with, they're actually giving us more ideas on how they wish to sort of utilize it in their daily lives. And then one of the other key learnings from our study was, you know, this product is not just for yourself, right? It's not just a personal indulgence. It actually does extremely strong as a gift as well.
Yeah,
so,
that was interesting.
So there's an equal number of people who want to buy it for themselves, as well as an equal number of people that actually want to go ahead and buy it for their partner, for their child, their friend, or you know, some family members, or just kind of give it away during the holidays.
That's so interesting. Yeah, and those are all things that maybe we have not thought about, you know, at all. So that talking to those people is just invaluable, and I'm really excited to see what else comes out of that. Yeah,
it seems like the community VC audience are buying it for their partner. So with their 50% off discount just this week, this little plug. But now maybe just go around really quickly, like if you know there are investors on this video and on this channel, and we're also looking for people just to follow us, to join this venture that we're on. What would be, you know, one or two things that people may or may not know about Auric, or just things that they should definitely know as a particular insight that maybe we're not presenting in our pitch doc? What's some things that might excite you individually about Auric?
I'm happy to kickstart, guys. And you know, my learning is predominantly based on 1,100 people that I've actually gone ahead and analyzed further. The first thing is just the sheer market sizing that kind of sits behind it. There's about 20 million Aussies aged 18-75, and if 90% of them are actually open to trying, that's straight away, that's more than 18 million people that are open to tech products, for health and wellness. And then the differentiation, just the appeal of the product is extremely strong as well. And what I love about is the scalability. We actually just need to do well in one market to begin with, just to kind of take this and just take it to other larger markets such as the UK or the US and so on and so forth. So I think just the sheer scale of the global opportunity, I think, is super interesting. And I think the timing as well. If I was to actually think about the timing where things are at the moment, especially in Australia, we see, a rise in personalized wellness solution. We see, gyms and fitness centers increasingly incorporating mental health components, stress management. We see IoT devices, smart devices kind of going up as well. And then people just kind of investing in their own health and wellness devices. So I think the timing is perfect. So that's something for you guys to consider.
Right.
Yeah, I can go next. I would just say, for me, what's most exciting is how many ideas we all have that I think we're going to take this really far. And we're starting with, just like you have to when you're launching something, we're starting small. But I think there's so much that we have ahead of us with this. And there's just so many sort of little ideas that I'm really excited about, and seeing as we get something out there and seeing how people respond to it, what people really like, what people want to see more of. I think we just have so much like untapped sort of potential and ideas when it comes to it. We've got like breath work techniques that could be a part of this. Even Alex sent me an idea last night that he was thinking about that could take it in a whole different direction. And so I think I'm just excited about that aspect of it. This is where we're starting, but I'm just excited about where we're going to go with it too.
Yeah, I'll just pile on with that as well from Maddy. I spend a lot of time thinking about creative innovation and where different new product spaces might go. And one area that I've been thinking a lot about is generative AI, both in terms of storytelling, but just in general, the ability to sort of take data and to manifest a different direction out of it. And so it's not something we've talked about, but I was thinking the other day is like kind of a, one of those sort of I'm walking the dog and just thinking in my head type things. There's no reason why you can't at least imagine constituting all sorts of different oils or different elements to be able to recreate that memory of being on the beach with my aunt. Imagine,
so cool.
Like there is a future here of being able to just ask, just similar to how I would go, to Midjourney and say, create me an image of me on the beach. We could go imagine someday and say, I want to smell like I'm there on the beach and have that man. So I think there's a lot of room to grow and a lot of really interesting possibilities sort of in that innovation space that get me pretty excited.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think, at its core, and especially our focus for the next few months is to really build, at its core, it's a smart diffuser, right? It addresses a lot of the really big critical pain points and friction points of existing diffuser solutions. And that itself is highly valuable, but it's where we go from there, as Maddy and as sort of Eric touched on, it's where we go from there in the next few months and years to come is really, really exciting. And we start by building that foundation now. But yeah, really the sky's the limit. That sense space really being underutilized in the IoT or in combination with IoT means we've got a great opportunity here to build something really outstanding.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I might close on that. The one thing that I want the community VC to understand is just the talent we have at Auric. I mean, you got a few members here, but in this world where they're talking about building products with less people, ultimately that's what we're doing at Auric. We actually only have 3 full-time people. There's Alex and I, and Suraj is doing data engineering. And this sort of hybrid remote working style that we've got, we're able to sort of bring in expertise that you've got on this call and others to kind of iterate forward. We're building a product with automation, with agent kind of technology right at its heart. We're really thinking about that. Alex just touched on the dashboard. We get really excited every time a device connects to the scent cloud, and we can kind of see the behavior that's driven. And of course, there's a consumption of the oils. So this hardware reoccurring business model, we think, is got a real lot of legs. There's obviously margin going out the door and there's margin continuing, but delivering essential oils could be just the start of a number of digital therapeutic products that Auric could do. So I'd leave that we're building a business with technology so at the heart of this product. Now, the AromaSphere is a pretty incredible product that Alex is building. He's a robotics engineer, but it isn't the Apple iPhone. It is a diffuser with a few mechanical components to it to dispense aromas. And you imagine it like a little mixing desk to create all sorts of different opportunities there. So the cost per unit is going to come down very, very quickly as we scale. And then there's a repeatable revenue stream. So I really want that to be understood, because that's kind of the driving part of some of our core beliefs of why we are really passionate about how Scent works with lots of different products and services. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you for everyone joining the call and being part of that. We weren't sure how it was going to roll, but we'll bundle it up, we'll get it out there, and we'll see you guys actually all tomorrow on our on a call. So yeah, have a good day, everyone, and thanks for those that have watched the video to the end. And always reach out to Alex and I and get involved. Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much, guys. Take care.
Bye. So stop recording.